it's more about the habits, though.
I know, and I know Lynn's always so good about pressing
no,
that.
I'm serious, because I think it's such a detriment to be so focused on the scale. I know it has been for me in my lifetime, and I mean, in my graduate studies too, it's proven over and over again that the weight cycle is not good for you mentally or physically. You know.
So we are going to be discussing this. Hello, I'm Karen Lissy with Texas A&M AgriLife Extension, and I've pressed the record button. And so this is the last class of our Step Up, Scale Down, class number 12. And a lot of it is reviewing and talking about things that we've done, things that have worked for us, things that don't work for us, and any questions that y'all have. I'm glad we have Mindy and Lisa here. I know a lot of my participants said that they weren't going to be able to make it, but they'd like to view the recording. And so we are recording, as always. And so, how are y'all doing today? I'm going to unmute you. You doing well, Lisa?
Yes, I am.
That's good. And so, if anybody wants to share some of their successes, like I was talking about earlier, one of my participants had told me that she had lost 15 pounds. And then I know another one had lost, I think she was at 8 down. And so, and Boogie said she had someone who was at 8 down. Anybody else know of any other successes? I'm even. So, you know, it's not like I have to put in a negative, another number. Because one of the things they want us to do is add up and say, well, we've a total, you know, weight loss of this so far. But like Lynn was saying, because right now we're at 31 pounds that our group has lost, which is pretty good. But like Lynn was saying, focusing on the number is not always the most important thing. It's all of the new skills. And we're going to be discussing some of those skills that we've had in some of our, you know, things that say really work for me. And remember, some of the times, if we've started working out, some of the weight that we might have not lost might have moved over to muscle. And that's really important for us too. Okay. I know that with my, oh, good, Mindy. Okay. So that's 35 pounds there. I know that I sent out to my group, and I assume Boogie and Lynn sent out to their groups, the QR code. We had it last week also for the survey at the end there, our post survey. And so if you could please turn, you know, do that survey. If you haven't already done it, please do it, because that helps us understand how the program worked for you and how it didn't work for you. And I know a lot of times people are afraid to give us any negatives because, you know, like maybe they love Boogie, maybe they love Lynn, maybe they love me, and they don't want to say anything negative because they're all worried that something, you know, is going to come back bad on us. Don't worry about it. You know, if we've done something wrong and it really offended you or bothered you, we need to stop doing it. But if we did something well, then you need to put that on there too. So just, you know, tell us the truth. We're good. We're big girls. We can handle it. Okay. And so this is a really short program, but I'm hoping to have some conversations, you know, between all of us. Okay. And let's see. So it's important to reward yourself when you make healthy lifestyle changes. Now, one of the jokes that I've had with some of the ladies that I've gone to on programs numerous times is my reward, my thought process always goes straight to food. It's like, oh, I get a reward. Oh, I can go get this, or I can go get this, or I can go out to here, you know, that kind of thing, which isn't necessarily the best way for us to reward ourselves. So one of the things that we have to adjust in our mind is thinking of other ways to reward ourselves. Maybe, can y'all think of some ways that would be a good reward?
Manicure, pedicure.
Manicure. Those are good.
Shopping. Something new that you can wear that fits.
Yeah.
Okay.
That works. Some people talk about getting massages, and if you're, you know, we were discussing earlier that I'm not really a touchy person, but I have gotten a few massages in my lifetime, and they actually, it's kind of not bad when it's a stranger, you know, then you'll never see them again. It's not too bad. You know, I have a cousin who that is her favorite thing to do is get a massage. Anybody else have ideas?
Like buying some exercise equipment or like some shoes, some like a brand new pair of tennies if you run or walk.
Uh-huh. I'm writing these things down. Okay. Because, Boogie, you got something?
I typed it, buying new clothes.
Oh, buy new clothes. Okay. 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 Those are all good ideas and they work for us. And so I was trying to adjust my clothes so y'all it kind of looks kind of messy now, but anyway, I'm not much into clothes either, so I have to come up with some new thing I like. I'll come up with it one day. So on our handout, step up 1, it talks about goals. Remember at the very beginning, we talked about making goals. We talked about making some physical activity goals that we've met or some healthy eating goals. So did y'all all get your handouts, your 12-1? If you did, that's kind of where we're going to be focusing, just some things. And maybe you wanted to come up with your own rewards and not necessarily want to share them. Maybe that's a private thing, that you, a reward that you really want to have, maybe spending times with your family or something like that. We share a lot, but we don't have to share everything. Okay, so let me turn my page. Okay, so on 12-1, that's where we're writing down our things. So I'm going to give you a minute or two more. Like healthy eating goals. I have increased my fruits and vegetables, so that's a goal that I'm going to write down. And I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be a little bit lower in weight tomorrow than I was. This weekend, my daughter graduated from college, so I celebrated, the way she likes to celebrate. And she's her daughter, she's her mother's daughter. We went out to eat lots of different places. Okay. One reward I could go for healthy eating would, once again, it's back on the food, but I like buying those different fruits and vegetables. We talked about like dragon fruit last week, that was something new that we could try. Just things like that. I like buying the different, I call them weird foods. Okay. Does anybody want to share anything else? Have y'all been thinking about it? Or we're going to move on.
I like doing different activities.
Oh, okay.
Maybe something I haven't done before.
Okay. Yeah, you're echoing again on us. But like going to maybe to a play or something like that. Is that what you're talking about?
I'm more like physical activities, like maybe a new bike trail.
Okay, I was cutting my mic off hoping that it would not reverberate on us, but so you like saying like trying a new bike trail or things like that. Well, that's cool. That's wonderful, Lynn. I wish, Sorry, Boogie, can you say it again?
Maybe a trip, a small vacation.
Yeah, that's a great idea too. Okay. So did any of y'all meet any physical activity goals you want to talk about? Like, did anybody do a 5K or something like that? I know we didn't focus a lot on increasing our physical activity. Here we were doing pretty well, and then it got, the time changed and that kind of wiped us out. And then it got to be Thanksgiving, and having this program at the end of where it ends right at Christmas is, we might want to try it a little bit earlier next time. Okay, well, I'm going to move on. Okay, so let's see. Now that you've decided how to reward yourself, let's discuss some of the things we've learned over the past 12 weeks and how we can incorporate them. So as we move forward, remember you've learned from the dietary guidelines. These guidelines should be the foundation of your healthy eating plan to achieve and maintain a healthy weight. Build, okay, what was that first one? I was talking about, what was that first thing we talked about? Do y'all remember? It's all about what we put on our plate. Okay, so we want to build a healthy plate. And how did we talk about doing that right away?
Colorful.
Colorful, that was definitely one we talked a lot about.
And the
And
portion
colorful what, Lisa?
veggies.
And fruits, right? And how much of our plate should be fruits and veggies?
80%. I don't know.
Well, 80% would be great. It's at least half, is what we go with.
I
But
thought
and
it was
that,
more than half.
yeah, it kind of depends on what you're putting as that starchy portion, because these are usually the lower starch ones, which are usually the lower carb ones, and the lower calorie ones. So if you put half your plate fruits and vegetables, that's good. And then they consider another quarter of it to be, like starchy. But if you put a potato, well, that's still a fruit or a vegetable. You put corn there, that's starchy, but it's fruit or vegetable. Good job. So what about milk? What did we say about doing what we wanted to try with our milk? I don't know if y'all want me to ask questions or just kind of tell you. It's all reducing the fat on that, so trying low fat cheeses. Today I went to one store that I don't normally go to, and I was looking long and hard for no fat cheese. I couldn't find any, but I did find a few low fat cheeses. Fat-free cheese is real hard for me to find in Port Lavaca, but sometimes in Victoria I can find it. Is it easier like in Corpus where some of y'all live?
I don't think that there's any fat-free cheeses.
Yeah. I know that there's one you can buy in slices, Sarah. I can't remember if it's Borden's or if it's Kraft that has it. And those aren't bad, and they melt actually. Because on Lynn says at HEB there's quite a lot of options of low fat, Lynn, or fat free even. Everything. So both of them. And so I was real surprised at how well that one melts. It's American version kind of cheese. So I kind of liked that. And milk, have any of y'all switched your milk preference from whole all the way down to skim? Or has anybody gone all the way down to skim with their milk?
From 2% to skim.
You went from you went 2% to skim? That's a pretty good job. Good job. Good job. Okay. So it talks about cutting back on foods high in solid fats, added sugars, and salt by choosing foods and drinks with little or no added sugars. So if any of y'all cut back on your sodas or anything like that, that's a good step, or cutting back on your sweet teas to, maybe half and halves or none, and adding maybe a little artificial sweetener or something there. That's one way to do it. Looking out for salt. Oh, Boogie, go ahead. Nope, she cut herself off. Okay. Looking out for salt in the foods too, and eating fewer foods high in solid fats. So we're talking in like those saturated fats. So when you want to get a steak, which we don't say you can't eat steak or anything like that, but you might want to go with a leaner choice as opposed to a ribeye. You might want to go with a sirloin or even filet mignon. Those actually don't have a lot of fat in them, and so that's one way you can do it. Okay. And we all had to choose the right number of calories. How did the number of calories we picked at the beginning of the year work for you guys? Were you able to stick to that? Were you one who even cut more calories, or were you one who had to add a few more to feel satisfied? Because we kept track of it on our food trackers. Some of us did.
Yeah. Sometimes it's a struggle to get more calories in. No, but sometimes
okay.
I feel like I'm lacking in calories because I'm so hungry. It's just like I'm depriving myself. So
yeah. Yeah, and sometimes, you mean women, our lives do a lot of this, and our hormones kind of affect us some too. And so there are some days that, I can go without eating almost at all, and then there are other days it's like I feel like I could eat constantly, and that is one of the things. I don't know if men go through that as much as women do, but I do know that that's something that affects me and other friends of mine that I've spoken with. So yeah. And then just get right back up on the horse when, the next day when things don't quite go the way we were planning on it. And it says, avoid oversized portions and use smaller plates. I try to remember to use smaller plates, but then I seem to end up on the bigger plate. And so I noticed last night, it was like, I'm supposed to use a smaller plate. So I grabbed a smaller plate and I put my food on there, and it made me feel okay. Bowls and glasses. I drink out of the same glass all day. It's water, so it doesn't matter. It's water or unsweet tea. So, I don't have any calories that I'm working with there. Okay. But it also talks about think before you eat any worthless calories. And they're sitting there going, it didn't say don't eat them, but it's like, am I going to enjoy this? And I've really gotten good about taking one bite, there was, I don't know, one time there was 5 desserts and it was like, okay, I'm one who likes variety. I don't know how y'all are, but I did take a very small, it was like more like a teaspoon of each one of them. And it's like, actually I'm good. And I stopped. Anybody tried anything new that they want to share with other people about that kind of thing? Maybe it's one specific thing you really like and you say, no, I'm going to eat a piece of that and I'm going to enjoy every bite of it. Like when people make sopapilla cheesecake, if I take a bite, a piece of that, I'm going to enjoy every bite of it. I try to eat slower, that kind of thing, just so I can enjoy it. Lynn avoids sweets because it's a roller coaster for her. It's like once you start it, you keep eating it, and then it's like, yep. Okay. So, and what did we say about cooking at home? Is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? And why? Don't remember. And Sarah, it was good because who has the control over what you put in that food? You do, right? Yeah. And so
We do.
yeah. And so we're not going to add that extra butter that they might be adding in the restaurant. We're not going to add that extra salt that they might be adding in a restaurant, and they don't care about, the calorie count.
And the portions.
And the portion size, right? Okay. But sometimes we do have to go out to eat and we can choose the lower calorie menu options, right? Things that are there. I have noticed more, that has that many calories. What has fewer calories that I could choose off that menu? Oh, okay. Could I be happy with that? Yeah, I could be happy with that. And I choose that. Sometimes it's like, no, I really do want, I don't know, what is it? Sometimes I really want a hamburger. And so I think, maybe I'll only eat half of it. And sometimes I can do that. And sometimes I eat the whole thing. It's up to you. Okay. And the thing I struggle with the most, what was one thing we talked about increasing that I don't mention a lot, but Lynn mentions all the time? Nobody?
Fruit.
It's what I love fruit, Boogie.
Oh, my bad.
What do I hate?
Vegetables.
No, I love those too.
Okay.
Physical activity. So has anybody increased their physical activity these past 12 weeks?
Definitely.
Good. And Sarah's worked really well for you, hasn't it?
Yes, I'm a 5:30 a.m. kind of person. Walk in the morning.
How was it cold this morning?
This morning, yes, but I mean, I got up late this morning, so I only had time for 45 minutes. So usually, I'd like to try to walk at least an hour.
But good job. I mean, I'm glad you do that. I know that's what I need to increase. I was doing better when I'd get up in the morning and get it done. It's like if I say, "Oh, I'll do it in the evening," I know me.
I feel so much better for the whole day.
Okay, I'm gonna hear Sarah in my mind. going, okay, Sarah can do it, I can do it.
It's hard to get to work sometimes though.
Okay. Well, I want you to be very happy with the successes you've had. And if you haven't had the successes you were looking for from this program, you know, try to keep focusing on the different things that we talked about. Hopefully you've kept your handouts. If not, we've emailed them all to you. And unless you're the person who likes to have a really empty inbox, which I'm not that person, you can make new copies of them, or we can send them to you again. So let's see what else. But I did want to talk about a program I know I'm starting, and we're trying to figure out some issues with it. But we're gonna, none of my people are on, but we are gonna start a weight training program. We've got still some more issues that we have to work out before it actually happens. But I can expect that probably if you're in Lynn's group or if you're in Boogie's group, they'll probably be contacting you, saying, hey, I'm going to be starting this program if you're interested, or that kind of thing. And I'm hoping that will help me get more motivated, and hopefully it'll help any of y'all who are having problems increasing your physical activity to get more motivated. Now, Sheila and Leslie, I know y'all just popped on recently. What we talked about today was all about things we've done in the past, things we've talked about in the past that helped us, might help us continue on our way getting healthier. Okay. Did y'all have any questions or anything y'all wanted to talk about? Anybody online or anything you wanted to say?
Just that we can get that information for that exercise class, that would be great. Maybe we could, if they're gonna do it in our area.
Okay. Yeah. I'm sure
There will be one starting in Refugio and Goliad counties on January 10th.
Oh, you're starting earlier than me. Okay. Yeah.
Well, it's 24 weeks,
And-
guys. 24 weeks, 2 days a week. Just so that
That's
everybody
good.
knows.
What
We can
about
do
in Oasis? I think I asked this last week, but is anybody starting
Lynn's having a problem with her reverberation on her chat. What she said is she'll email and post on social media as well about when her program is starting up. She and I both have still some questions about the way they want it handled. And some of our participants, we know they might not be able to answer one of the questions without having to talk to a doctor. And so we're wondering how we work that out. And so that might be part of the issue that she's working with. I know that's one of the ones I've answered. And so.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. And Sheila and Leslie, we sent out the QR code to do the post survey. And I don't know if Sarah, you were on when I talked about it, but please complete that post survey and send it in to us. And the QR code, Boogie or Lynn, do y'all have it available where y'all could put in that link right in the chat? Y'all don't have it yet.
I did mine last week.
Okay, great. Then you don't have to do another.
Can you check? I mean, I swear I did
No,
it.
They won't. We don't have access to that.
Oh, okay.
So,
okay.
but yeah, and it's in the email. Okay, great. You all have that. And so that'll work. No problem. And if you didn't get a copy of it, just contact either Boogie, Lynn, or me, and we'll make sure that you get a copy of it. And Boogie always wants you to know our start date was October the 4th, because that's one of the questions people wonder. Is like, when did we start? It seems like forever ago. If they ask that question on the 24-week class, it's really going to be, when did we start? It seems like forever ago, because it was 6 months. Like, wow. So thank you so much for coming. I've enjoyed teaching you. I'm sure Boogie and Lynn have too. They may want to say something. I don't know. I thought I'd give them a second here if they want to say something. Lynn is typing because Lynn's, she, like I said, it's reverberating back.
We're so grateful that y'all came and had this adventure with us. If you need any help or need the QR code again, I've sent it out a couple of times. It'll be in an email to you later that Lynn graciously did for us. And Sheila, I got your hours. And I may be able to do more than one class in Goliad. So we'll just see how it shakes out in the new year. But hopefully my goal is to start on the 10th. And yes, Leslie, I will be glad to come to the school and do that with you. We have many weights and they will travel, many hand weights.
I joke that if I do the program and I do it in lots of different places, I won't have to do the program because I'll be moving the weights so much I'll build them up anyway. So Lynn said, thank you for joining us. She's excited to continue working with all of you guys. So y'all have a great Christmas and a great holiday season. If you're not one who celebrates Christmas, and just have a great new year, and we'll just stay in contact with us, and we'll stay in contact with you. Bye.
Good night. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop the recording.
Thank you.